This is a difficult one, and I'm very sorry that I can only give you somber perspectives on these situations, but that's the reality today, unfortunately. You're quite right. Although Myanmar in years past was on a trajectory towards better governance, democracy, and more human rights, nevertheless, during that period, the army went on a rampage in Rakhine State against the Rohingya minority. This is a Muslim minority that has been traditionally very discriminated in the part of Myanmar where they live. And that rampage, which included terrible human rights violations, caused an exodus of hundreds of thousands of people from this minority into neighboring Bangladesh. So for some years, we tried to work with the Myanmar civilian authorities that were still in power to try to create in the Rakhine State, this is the place of origin, some of the conditions for these people to return. To say that we made huge progress would be too positive, but some steps were taken. We were able to start a program in Rakhine State to work on coexistence between communities. Now, all of this came to a stop, as you mentioned, when a military coup happened a couple of years ago. And after that, the situation became worse, not just in Rakhine State, but throughout the country, because the military takeover generated an escalation of military action against not just the Rohingya, but a lot of different armed groups. And this has generated enormous internal displacement and made the work of humanitarian agencies extremely difficult. So once again, the first step here is to restore some stability in the country and hopefully convince those in power to put the country back into the trajectory towards human rights and democracy that they had embraced a few years back. And after that, I think we will have to tackle the different subset of problems in the country, including the very complex issue of the Rohingya. But it's part now of a bigger human rights and humanitarian challenge that we face in this huge country in Southeast Asia.